boy is dangerous.
Bad feeling about this.
You don't seem to understand something.
The thing that I like most about being a dad is that I see that I'm about to impact the world.
Yes, sir. Hey, what's up? It's your boy Humble Dad back with another edition of Humble Dad Podcast. Got a great show for you this evening. As usual, we always do. And we're going to be talking about Trump, just like everybody else is, and Kamala, Miss Harris. Basically, we're going to talk about, did Trump divide or unite, or will he divide or unite the United States? I mean, there's been some interesting dialogues this week about the election. You know, in some places and even in schools, they won't even allow them to have conversations about politics, which is crazy because that's where we started off learning and things of that nature. And so we have some interesting questions that I put together that we're going to talk about. And if you're on the live stream, you know, I might let y'all even come up and voice your own concerns if you're open to that. I am. So we're going to get it started. The question is, what's the most overrated way to motivate a team? What is the most overrated way to motivate a team? And we're going to welcome to the stage none other than Mr. Football himself. Prototype.
I know y'all probably didn't hear them claps, but
We did.
you heard them?
Yeah.
Oh, at least that part's working. The most overrated way to motivate a team, probably through fear. Saying that we're going to replace you, you know what I mean? Not building support is the most overrated way to, you know, motivate a team. So I would go there with it.
Okay, that's what's up. All right. Hey, welcome to the stage. None other than it's me, Jamie.
What's up? I don't have claps, so thank you. So the most overrated way to motivate a team, I was gonna say, is a pep talk. Like, I never thought about fear. I just thought like those little pep talks, you know, the rah-rah, like you can do it, blah 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 blah, yada yada, and then everybody walk away and be like, that's a lie. We about to lose because they didn't look at the other team. You know what I'm saying?
Or just giving them like team advice. Like, oh, the basketball players on the team help us get, and you don't even know how to take a pep talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, it's when they say, yeah, we are doing really good. We're doing really good. I appreciate all of everyone's effort. Now, y'all know everybody not putting in the same effort. But we're going to just congratulate the entire team. You know what I'm saying? Which is cool. You know, it's cool to a degree. But if there's not an individual accolade to say, hey, shout out the Prototype for helping us win this game type deal, like that'd be the worst for me.
And that's why you got to kick off the team.
See? Why? Can we just get
like, why are we going after the
out of nowhere?
Like, the good players know they're good. You know what I mean? And you don't. So I never teach my boys, like, you know, you're good. Your job is not to be good. Your job is to be a leader. So I coach that way. Like, so for the kids that are good on my team, focus on leadership. For the kids that are bad on my team, focus on skill development.
So do you tell your team we did a good job?
Depends on what we're doing. If we were not giving effort, then no. But if we're playing a team that's dogging us and they're like, we have no shot, and we're like out there giving it our best shot, yeah, we're doing a good job, man. Look, I'm proud of y'all for landing on the line. But there's nothing we could do here. Like, just, you know what I mean? Leaving the field was without the goal is to leave the field to say there's nothing else I could do. That's
Mm.
Agreed. I'm saying that in professional places, like they'll just say we did a good job, but they won't say who it was that did a good job. That's what I'm saying. And like, for example, in education, all the teachers there are not good. However, they will think that they did just as good as everybody else because we get paid the same.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's not it's I guess now it's somewhat of a reward if you have you're teaching a star, but it hasn't always been that way. So that's what I'm saying. What's up, Ash?
What's up?
Chilling. We got the question. You ready for the question? The question is, what is the most overrated way to motivate a team?
What do you mean overrated?
Like, what's something you think wouldn't work, but they always try it?
Oh, them alleged bonuses. There you go.
Them what?
The alleged bonus. Alleged.
Oh, the alleged bonus.
Alleged.
Why you say it's alleged?
Coming from my place of employment.
Oh, this is fresh.
It's not a threat. I'm just
It is
saying
fresh.
Huh?
That's something that just happened.
No, it's just always, well, guys, we're gonna go over the numbers. Okay. Well, we're here. We need to be here. Come, sir, mind your business.
Bet. All right, cool. We got it. So appreciate you being here. We're gonna start off with a video, and I want to see your thoughts on it. And it is probably going to be a biased type of deal, Prototype, just so you know. Okay, let you know off the top. This is a biased panel tonight. Okay, here we go.
I voted very early, and I voted for Trump.
Tell me why.
Trump just connects with me. It's his authenticity. I know Trump. I don't know who Kamala Harris is because she only plays the middle ground and she doesn't take a stance on anything.
You said to me earlier that you voted for Donald Trump to send a message to the Democratic Party and to Kamala Harris. What message were you trying to send?
Men's interest. Like, men have been alienated by woke culture, and we're sending a message saying enough is enough. I don't know if that means we'll win, but we're hoping for it.
All right. So my question is this: did Trump won or Kamala lost? Did Trump make it to where he won, or did Kamala lose the election? What's your thoughts, Prototype?
Kamala lost.
Okay.
Like, yeah, I mean, don't nobody want what he's selling. You know what I mean? I mean, he did a point that, you know, men have been alienated and punched down on or punched up at too far, too long. You know what I'm saying? So I think this election was just men punching down one good time just to say, sit y'all ass down. You know what I'm saying? Like, this kid keep bothering you, you know you ain't supposed to hit him. But, you just need one good back slap, like, sit your lord. No, I ain't supposed to hit you, but, you know what I'm saying? That's all that is, though. So
Okay.
I don't think Trump won, because if there was another candidate, I don't even know who ran against Trump in the, I don't even know who it was. Like,
The primaries.
Yeah, like, how do you even get there again? You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah. I think I don't know if they had a primary, but they had been asking for him for like a while. Like, since he ran last time.
Well, anybody that I think worthy enough, like, you know what I'm saying, he would have lost. Like, he was supposed to lose to somebody. Like, the fact that he came out of the primary last time was a shock. Like, he wasn't supposed to make it that far. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I think really Trump is just he's a beneficiary of the hate of the other side. You know what I'm saying? I think if there was no Barack, there would be no Trump. Like, if a regular white man would have beat out Barack, then Trump would have never got in. But because there was Barack, they went Trump.
Who you got going next?
We'll go with Jamie.
That was a good point, Prototype, about the Barack and Trump thing. I didn't never look at it like that, but Okay. I'm gonna have to agree with that. That's true. That's good. That was good. Okay, so Kamala lost. I mean, but even to never here's where you know that you really lost. When your own team is on the news saying that you did a terrible job not listening to the people. So the Democrats are going on CNN and Fox and everywhere saying that they were selling something that the people didn't want. They're admitting that. So she lost. And you could tell she wasn't connected to the people because she didn't even come out and say anything to them when she lost. So she had her own agenda. I'm gonna pick Chicago Rilla.
Rilla in the building.
Peace
Rilla
to
was
family.
like, listen, I'll come on if you talking about what we got going on.
Man, cut that out.
What's up, Rilla?
Cut that out, man. I've been on you, man.
Yeah.
Peace to the family. It's been a while since I've been over here. Trump won or Kamala lost? Trump won. Trump had a game plan, and I heard somebody say this, and I agree with him. Trump been campaigning for 4 years. You know, Kamala had 3 months to assemble the campaign, so on and so forth. Trump essentially ran what worked well for him in 2016. And, you know, I don't really do the political game banging and stuff like that. So you'll hear me say Democrat and Republican per usual. The Democrats didn't learn anything from 2016. They ran the same playbook that they ran in 2012, 2008. And then Proto, I came in on the end of your comment around Barack being like kind of the setup for Trump. I would say this country has been primed for a candidate like Trump, probably going back to the 80s with Reagan. So you think about celebrity worship, you think about the Governator, you think about Jesse the Body Ventura, you think about who was the senator in Minnesota that got ousted? He was a comedian on Saturday Night Live. I see his face. Al Franken, I think is his name. So this country is well acquainted with celebrities and that idea that Trump ran on, that he was the same guy from The Apprentice, you know, essentially had the country ready for him. And so now the country has said, hey, we ready for round 2. But yeah, Trump won. He ran his campaign, his race. He knew what he was running against and what he was running for the entire time. And, you know, they executed to great results. Am I the last to go, or is Ash next? You got it, Ash.
You're welcome to call on me as well if you want to know my.
No, I don't want to call on you.
Know your place. Know your place. So see, there you go. See, I knew I should have stayed downstairs eating something. But anyway, I choose violence. I'm going to choose violence, and I'm going to be the one to go against the grain. Kamala lost because, one, she was trying to target the weed smokers, the ones that really don't have a driver license, the ones that really don't have an ID, the ones that really don't know how to read too well. She was targeting the people that really don't care but they want to be seen. She was targeting people for social media. That's all she wanted to do, was target and be on the Instagram. Baby, that's not where your votes is. We don't do electoral votes like that. We don't vote like that yet. I know y'all would love for us to be able to cast a vote from our phone, you know, because then they're going to lie and say it's going to some type of tampering and somebody glitch, you know, how they lie and say somebody broke in when they out here selling folks data. But anyway, we ain't talking about that. She just flat out lost because, one, she wasn't targeting the actual people. I grew up middle class. What does that got to do with me? Your middle class ain't my middle class. Your middle class back in the day is better than the middle class today. So what you talking about? You're trying to bridge two worlds that are miles apart. My kids' childhood is nothing like my childhood. Why? Because they're on the inside. I was outside. You know, it was a little bit more safer. But now you got all these predators that's got these little nice devices that they can try to link up with kids and stuff. So, we on high alert in a different way. It used to be stay in the yard. Now it's who's in the yard. So I just think she just lost altogether because she didn't really have a targeted audience. And she tried to go with the younger people, but not realizing that while she was doing her little rallies or whatever, she should have been trying to make sure they was registered to vote, make sure they had the ID, make sure they knew where the voting post was in their neighborhood. Like if you're gonna go out and eat collard greens at said restaurants, make sure there's a voting area in said restaurant's neighborhood, or let that place be a voting poll, or let that be parking or something. But she lost, and let's see where Trump bring us, chains and bangs. Let's do this.
And bangs. That's what's up. I would say I think Trump won just because he executed a game plan, and there was no. It was going to be very challenging for her to win simply because one, she did a lot of pandering in the wrong sphere. She would not address people such as Joe Rogan, who was actually on her side and didn't even want to vote for Trump and said he would never even have Trump on. And Trump ended up getting on Joe Rogan. Elon Musk was on the side of Kamala at one point, and then he switched to being on the side of Trump. So I would say that Trump won over people once they got to hear him talk, and especially on the influencers podcasts and things of that nature. And so and she wasn't willing to answer tough questions, and when she did, she fumbled on a regular basis, and so. But what's interesting to me, though, which will kind of transition to our next question, what's interesting to me is that even though she did a really bad marketing plan, 66 million people still voted for her. Right? That is a lot of people that decided to vote for her, even though she ran a really bad, in my estimation, bad campaign, right? So we're going to talk about that here shortly. Before we get to that, Dwayne, what's going on, bro? How you doing?
What up, beautiful people?
Look at you coming in with the off mute. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Look at you.
Yeah.
2 weeks
A year and a half in, I think
you found it. There it is. Okay. All right. So the question on the docket, I knew. Listen, this is for you for sure. Okay. I thought about when I put this question together. I thought about you. The question is: did Trump win or did Kamala lose? How you doing? Everybody out.
Oh man, Trump lost.
What do you?
I'm sorry, my bad. I'm on over here. I'm all over the place. Trump won. My bad. And Kamala lost the moment she didn't get elected. I had the fortunate ability of being able to listen to the show before I was able to get on.
Okay.
And I heard Prototype talking about, I'm going there. I heard Prototype sitting there talking about he don't even know who Trump ran against. And whenever I heard that, I'm like, I've been thinking the same thing about Kamala. But it's even worse. It's even worse because she didn't even get selected the first time she ran. The Democrats didn't pick her. And then when she ran as the president, she didn't get picked again. So it's like, man, how about this? Kamala lost twice. My gosh. Boy, he's wrong for that. But she did. And Trump won twice. He's salty. Boy, I'm sorry. I'm working on me, okay?
Here you go. Listen, it's a party. It's a party, y'all.
I'm always excited to see Unc, but not today. Not today. Not today.
You still got that sand between your toes, Slick Rick. My guy. Good to see you, brother.
We do what we can with what we have, man. We do.
That's so good. Hey, welcome on, bro. What you got? The question is: Trump won or Kamala lost? What's your thoughts?
Oh man! Shout out to the panel, Proto. My guy, what's good, my boy? Ash, good to see you, baby. Jamie, HD, you already know what it is. Real was popping. Dwayne was good, man. The real losers are the American people. No, Trump won this one. He won this one clean up. We talked about this ad nauseum, man, and I totally agree with what you said. He ran his race, right? He ran his race. He did. He especially I think what we expected of Trump, usually fly off the handle kind of dude. You know, I think he kind of settled down into himself and realized what game he was playing, at least at this portion of the quarter, right? I think the biggest thing was everybody, I can't say everybody, I gotta say me, right? Me personally, it got to the point where when you heard her talk, you knew it was gonna be what Trump isn't or is doing instead of what she would do, right? It was always about the whataboutisms, right? And like I said, I give shout out to YouTube and the game that's being passed out, because a lot of people recognize that gaslighting and, you know what I mean, and that minutia of talk and circular talk when they see it now, and that's exactly what she did. I think America's ready to get back to business, whatever you believe that business is, and it's just she didn't have no answers. She really had no answers, right? So, and it was an embarrassment to me as black people, the pandering with the Meg Thee Stallion crap, the Glorilla crap, the Cardi B, dog. Huh?
He said, what about Amber Rose?
That's fine. 1 versus 3. Take your pick, bro. Take your pick, right? You can hold your face all you want. The truth is, and I said it before, and no one wants to admit this. No one wants to admit this. We know who Trump is. Who's Kamala Harris?
Not black.
I just played that clip.
No, but Proto, she was black when it first started out, right? No. Yeah, you nigga. That's what I'm saying. Everybody, it ain't never nobody on the panel we talking to, right?
I got it on wax.
Right. I understand, bro. But listen to what I'm saying, bro. It ain't never.
Black.
I understand. Listen to what I'm saying, bro. I don't disagree, right? But this is what I'm saying where that gaslighting comes into play. So what was it, black people? Because y'all all black, right? Y'all all what they call FBA, Fundamental Black Americans, right?
Not Jamie.
Right, not Dwayne, right? But you was here. You seen the pictures, right? At first, she was the first black, well, not the first, but she's trying to be the first black African-American woman into the press. That's what we didn't say that. Everybody up here knows she was of Indian descent. And then when, sad to say, when Candace Owens bust her ass, now everybody, well, it don't matter. Then why you bring it up? Right? This is the stuff, like, she lost the race. No matter what y'all say, is she more polished than Trump? Yes, definitely. But when y'all heard her talk, y'all knew y'all was listening to wah 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 wah. And all you had to judge her off of, hey, ladies, if you know y'all don't want to admit it, y'all judged on y'all past.
That's crazy. That's diabolical for real. Yeah.
And what's her past, ladies and gentlemen? What's her past? Locking niggas up, not letting dudes free, even though she got the evidence. Sleeping with the old boy when he shoot. I'm sorry. This is what they considered, and not the. And again, nobody want to address this elephant in the room. How she totally surpassed. How they told the Democratic Party totally surpassed the democratic process, the death of democracy they talking about when they bumped her up when she wasn't officially voted in by the party.
But you know the
Trump's the anarchist though.
But you know the rule with Democrats though is that like if you go read their bylaws, they can do exactly what it is that they did, even though there may have been a democratic process, similar to back in, or was it 2020 when Bernie Sanders was the leading candidate, but they was like, we don't like him. So they made every effort to change it to where Biden could come up, right? So that's in their bylaws that even though the people may be able to say who the majority is, they get the final say of who it is.
Exactly. So even with that being said, right? What are you saying? Y'all, the Democratic Party can totally neglect the American people because they feel like it? This is what y'all see and know, but y'all play like these things don't exist. This is my problem with people. And that's all I got.
That's a bet. Hey, we gonna really, did you have a thought? It seemed like you had a thought. You read okay, bet. So I was like I said, go ahead, Proto.
Can Trump beat Michelle Obama?
It all depends on where she runs on.
Yes. White women will not vote a black woman into office before a white woman. It's not happening. Get over yourselves.
I would beg to differ on that. I believe if it's the right candidate. Let's say a Candace Owens gets up there, right? To me, that's a whole different ball game. The reason why Barack Obama was able to even Joe Biden said it. You ain't never seen a black come up there and be able to articulate himself as well as Barack Obama did. He said it. So if that is the case, whenever you have someone who's able to articulate themselves well and their ideas well, that's a winning formula. The only thing that you have in your opposition is the media empire that's behind the Democratic Party. So we talked about this last week, I believe. That stuff is dying out. And that stuff is dying down. So here's an example. The Democrats love black folks, unless you're Republican. The Democrats love women, unless you're a Republican. All those things they love it unless you're until you're in opposition. So that's my 2 cents. I believe that if you had a black woman who was able to articulate herself and her ideas, yes, white folks, people would, and especially with this whole white guilt bullshit. I'm sorry for cussing, but I did this whole white guilt stuff. So you have white folks feeling bad because they felt like they've oppressed, and that's what the liberals told them.
Brother Dwayne. So if we look at this past election, the country told you what it'll tolerate. Slick Rick, right? They not gonna vote a black woman in. You could be as articulate and well liked. You could be Oprah Winfrey, god dog. They not voting no black. And you got to remember too, Hispanic men are not voting a black woman in to lead them. This election was a referendum, and I said this at the outset. The most overlooked group. I initially thought the most overlooked group was the straight black male. Right. I think they were underestimated, underrepresented, under acknowledged. But the group that Kamala specifically ignored that showed up in numbers for Trump. Obviously, we knew the straight white male, but and people underestimated that Hispanic male vote. So to me, Michelle could run on whatever. The Democrat messaging is antiquated. It's outdated. It's that nobody's voting for hope. And as far as white guilt, hey, talk to some of these shorties out there. They don't care that they great granddad or their granddad or Billy Bob and them oppressed Renee and Keisha, in the 50s and 60s. They ain't had nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool with Raekwon now. So the temperature in this country has completely changed. And this election shows you what time it is. I'm on mute.
So that just kind of transition. I'm gonna get to you, Dwayne. I'm just saying that this transitions to the question that I had on the thread. Like, what did the data tell you? Go ahead, Dwayne. You can respond to Rilla.
Yeah, I appreciate him bringing that up about the Hispanic man, because that goes back into my point against the deterioration of the power in which the media had. Whenever Trump came, in 2016, they got him saying that he was racist, xenophobic, all these icks, right? They were saying that that's what he was. But then now, fast forward 2016 to 2024, that 8 years, that stuff don't work no more. That stuff, and that's what the data tells you. This dude is sitting there talking about he wants to close the border, and this dude is talking about mass deportation. That won on the ballot. That idea was a good idea. So that in itself is a shift in ideas. So for the Hispanic man, the media told them that guy is your enemy. For the black man, straight, whatever it may be, they told us that he was our enemy. Any ideas in which the Democrat want to champion, they told you and told us that Trump is against it. And your future is in jeopardy. So that in itself, I'm looking at it. They have lost their power, and thankfully so. And it's based off, again, ideas. So whenever you now say, as for the Democrats Party, that it's old, it's stale, yes, it is. It's out of here. So if you have somebody on the right who could come through and articulate themselves well, and say what they're going to do, then guess what? America's back to where it needs to be. The Democrats had a monopoly on ideas, and most importantly, values. So whenever they're sitting here using this virtue signaling on us, oh, if you don't like them, guess what you are? You're racist. So guess what? Whenever I talk about the white guilt, it now comes around in a boomerang. It comes around in a boomerang, because now, whenever it gets down to it, if a white woman comes up and steps up on the stage, guess what you are? You're homophobic. Oh, not homophobic. You're racist because you don't support them. You're a misogynist because you don't support a woman. So all those names can be used against you now. All you need to do now is back to what America stands for. It's not about your skin color. It's about your ideas. It's about the content of your character. That's what we're getting back to, in my humble opinion.
That's a solid point. But I'm gonna ask the question that I wanted to know, like going back to, like, what did the data tell you? Ash, tell me what you got. What did the data tell you?
I wanted to respond to Dwayne, but then I lost my train of thought. Never mind. The data told me is that the panderism that they was using didn't work. They need to go back to the drawing board and go again, because she wasn't really hitting on nothing. Like I was explaining to my coworkers, I've been having this debate about who I vote for. You already know I've been going at it with my grandma. I've been going at it with the whole family. I done got put out 3 times already. I'm currently homeless from month to month now. Not the kids, just me. If anybody know a place to stay where I can still get to work, never mind. Anyway, let me stop pandering. See what I'm saying? That's, to me, the data show that the liberals, they are voting, but they not voting for that crap that she was pulling. It's like all that she was saying was absolutely nothing, because I don't even remember anything that stuck to me. Now, that's just to me. I don't remember anything that she stuck to me, because what were you saying? Is a whole bunch of mumbo jumbo. Like, you're all over the place. Like, you're not targeting single moms. You're not targeting anybody. You're just targeting anybody that will listen and find you some interest for the moment. And that's what you got for the moment. It didn't work at the poll. Everybody went their own way at the poll. I just think it was a straight ass show, just smeared on the wall. Because to me, if she really wanted that vote, she could have went a little harder instead of trying to attack Trump character and his flaws, what he did previously. Let's talk about what you could have been working on for your 4 years as vice president to set you up for your 4 year as actual president. Did you really see her campaigning about anything that she's done or what she pushed or what she put on the table to benefit the American people. And I'm not just talking about Black folks. I'm just saying the American people, maybe even as women, like this whole thing. What is it? I forgot. We got to use sensory words because people are so sensitive now. This unaliving the children and stuff like that. Why you put that on the table? That would have been a good way to move forward with your campaign. That could have been something. You could have picked up a little vote or two here. You know, you got all the everybody got the pro-lifers. Hey, why you ain't pandering them? Why you ain't got, you know, it's just a whole bunch of crap that was going on. And the data shows that what T.I. say, you got to let the losers worry about losing. So who got it? Who got it next? Jamie, come on, get your head up.
Okay, look, so I was reading the data. That's why I was like reading data. So, because I think I gave us credit that we didn't deserve based on the data. The data says that we voted Democrat, like we did as a collective whole. And it shows that like even the American Indians voted Republican, like they came out and voted Republican. And so I think I'm a little distraught to know that we want to kill babies. Like 90% of Black women voted Democrat based on. That's why my head was down, Ash. I was really like going back and forth with different graphs, and all of them show, and even the Black men. Now, I know I'm on a panel with Black men who made an informed decision, but the other ones, what happened? Were you scared of the Black woman's response to you voting for common sense?
As the passenger told me on my bus the other day, because she had went off after another passenger had went off on my bus about this election. She said everybody in my family is voting for her, and that's what we gonna do, and that's what we did. They don't have a choice. And I was like, so, and you know me, like I said, I've been on my pandering. Y'all know I've been on my pandering. I said, so are you trying to tell me Trump got in with their votes? Are you sure they didn't get to the poll and change their mind? Because she ain't in there. Try to bust about my business. Try to bust about my business. But I'm so serious though. To answer your question with far as the Black male vote, as you see highly on her side, is because of that influence. Remember, that's what I talked about last week, is how the family expect you to vote this way, and that is the way of the family, not your choice. You don't get to be individual. You be individual when you get ready to cook your dish for Thanksgiving.
So you talking about like grandma? You talking about grandma?
Yeah,
like,
this was an older lady. I want to say she was kind of grandma-ish or the great auntie that still can get around good. When I say she was on the bus cussing, baby, she was on the bus hard. Oh, now I just remember what I wanted to respond to Wayne about. You was talking about the Hispanic men, about them, who they graduate, who they voted for. I had one, again, another passenger. This was the first day because I had went to sleep and I didn't know who it was. Baby, he got on the bus and said, I'm not worried about who president. Let me tell you why. I got a house to stay in. I got my papers and I got a job. Who effing with me? I was like, okay, look, don't start a ride on my bus now. You need to calm down because I see you looking back there. Because when I say if you ride public transportation, it's been quiet. Everybody's kind of separated. Nobody's talking. Nobody really saying good morning to each other. Nothing. Nobody's looking at nobody. But I said the bus has been quiet. The children is even quiet. I mean, this is something that don't happen. It's like they're quiet. And I'm like, damn, y'all still back there? Y'all going somewhere today? I mean, why y'all so quiet? It's just an election. We gonna move forward. But like I said, I just had two people get on my bus and be real loud and vocal about what they did and what, you know, what not, what way they went. But it's like, this shouldn't really divide us. We just gonna come together and learn how to debate politics and learn how to veto things. Call signature, guys. Oh my.
Jamie, did you finish your thought?
I mean, did I finish my thought?
It was very interesting, the numbers, right?
That Black women want to kill babies. And I think, you know what the disappointment is that they're exposed now. So I think the reason why people are crying is because their level of wickedness is exposed. You know what I'm saying? They weren't expecting that exposure. You get what I'm saying? You know how you expose it, you can't take it back. You can't take it back. you could, because now you can't pretend like you care about kids, about your life, about like now you have to admit I just had the baby because I wanted the child support. I just wanted the baby because I wanted to keep the man. Like there's a lot of things that they're going to have to take accountability for because I'm telling the truth now. Hold on. They gonna have to take accountability for because they cannot take back that 90% of them was okay with killing babies.
Can I that's the thing though, Jamie. I don't know how many of them understood that was what she was running on.
Because she said so. When, they had the bus. The bus was at the rallies, though. How do you not understand when the bus was at the rally? The bus was at the rallies.
Because,
it was
because
like,
the reason why I want to say that is because your algorithm is different than theirs, right? So they don't really hear. They hear women's rights. They don't hear killing babies. Right. So our algorithm will say killing babies. Hopefully they don't mess up, the thread or not. But what they're hearing is women cannot or not allowed to have women's rights. Right. And then what ends up happening is if you talk to a person, because I've talked to several, they'll say stuff like, well, what if it's incest or there's rape happening, right? Or if the mother is sick, and I said to them, I said, did you go read the bill? Like I live in Texas, right? And there's a thing called the heartbeat bill, right? And it's if there is no heartbeat, the doctor is okay to perform the miscarriage, right? There were commercials here in Texas where it was showing that Ted Cruz was the reason why a woman lost her baby because he would not allow her to get an abortion. How that makes sense?
The lies they tell, boy.
And that was an ad that was ran.
But Humble Dad, you just said that they didn't know about the abortion part. They look at it as women's right, but right when you're explaining it, it goes back to still about the ability to terminate a pregnancy, whether it's necessary or not. And so it's still, when you look at it, no matter how you frame it, right? It's like the termination of a child, whether it's you wanted it or not. 90% of people know that there's 90% of women out here getting SA'd and being forced to make that type of choice. And also it's kind of like you want it federally mandated that it's okay to do this at birth. Like the baby, you could have the baby and decide that you don't want it and still terminate the actual baby. That's how far this was going, right? And so 90% of Black women are 92. Wicked. Like it just, I'm just being real. Like we got to sit here and think that's wicked. Anyways, all right, that's my only thought. Like I'm a little distraught. I think I'm gonna have to sit on this. I see, and I wanted to go to sleep, but now I'm not even gonna go to sleep when I get off of here.
Yeah, because you're gonna see. Go ahead, Rick.
But hey, Humble Dad, my stuff is circular because it's true, right? So look at what they do, and I've been telling y'all this, but y'all don't want to listen. Hold up. Did you hear what I said? You notice what they use as the excuse for injustice are the most extreme cases. And look, I seen a post with a doctor. He said, I'll perform 2,000 baby deletions, right? 2 were due to SA. 2 were due to incest, right? He said like 5 to 7 were done due to defects.
Yeah.
The most extreme cases to justify BS. Let me point it out to you how they use it. And these are all women. I need you to listen to me. All you goofies who keep saying, watch how I prove this point. How many Black women voted for Kamala, percentage-wise?
92%.
How many Black men voted for Kamala?
78%.
But it's the most extreme case. 30% of Black men voted for Trump, but it's the Black men. They're going to have to deal with whatever Trump do. 30%. 70% of Black men are in lock and step with women. the most extreme cases. But when we point out how most women named wives, right, there's never anybody on the panel.
Did you hear what I said?
It's never you. It's never you. This is not about this election was not about policy or it was about ideals. And that's what she didn't get. Like I said, y'all can say whatever, right? You look at it, you can only understand something from your perspective. Most people, right? But when you open up the door and step outside, when you get out the cave, what's the right's message? What's Trump's message? Security, national security, lower taxes, energy independence. And the same thing he said when he was president. The United States needs to stop paying people who do nothing for them. What's the left's ideals? Gender politics. You're broke and it's somebody else's fault. Right? Why they cuddle up and huddle up and pay Beyonce millions of dollars to talk to people for 5 minutes. Your kids ain't got to tell you nothing about what they want to do, what they believe they are. They, thee, he, him. And it's okay to be gay. And they lie to you. Women's rights is what?
Just
Right?
having babies. That's what it is. It's just having
Right.
babies. That's the
Now,
only
when
right
we-
that they're worried about.
Right? Now, when we had these conversations, Humble Dad's been here, Rilla's been here, Dwayne and Protest, and we say, oh, they had these women right arguments about, oh, it's my body. But when we say to you, honestly, now you guys know that most cases of baby deletions have nothing to do with these extremes you're using. We told, no. Don't you know how scared women are walking down the street? A woman can't even feel safe in her own skin while wearing the skimpiest thing with no underwear outside. I said it before, and now say it again. You niggers are liars. That's all niggas do is lie. Lie. America's ready to get back to doing business. If you were smart, you would have made money already. If you were smart, you would have made money already off this election. Because that's the only thing that matters when it comes to them people up there is how they do business. Y'all act like y'all 22 and just got out of high school and don't know how the world works. Hope has nothing to do with anything when it comes to paying your bills. But y'all got it though. Y'all got it.
Who you got going next, Rick?
Prototype.
Uh-oh.
What's the question? I mean, there's been so much said at this point.
Data tell you?
Huh?
What did the data tell you? What did you read from the data?
Okay. Because I'm not going to address the straw man y'all been going hard at. But I do got a point, and I here's the point. I think we are ready to get back to doing business. We're tired of the pandering. Nobody forget how they, the mandatory vaccinations. Nobody forgot the pandering, the everybody in the African garment. Nobody forgot that stupid stuff that they did. It was overkill, and nobody forgot none of that goofiness. You know what I mean? That if you don't vote for me, you're not black type. You know what I'm saying? So for the most part, I felt like black women just wanted their lick. Like I feel like Barack wasn't enough for them to say, they wanted theirs too. That's the only reason I think they was going so hard for Trump. 22 of the men voting for Trump. I mean, that really doesn't mean anything. You know, there's interracial dating and all types of stuff going on. So, but that we still voted for, you know, with our women at a high rate. You know what I'm saying? So the
Right.
smoke they was giving us was definitely undeserved.
That's what I'm saying. So what? So again, the extremes.
Yeah,
They judge.
I mean, but I seen some women apologize. Some women be like, "Oh, my bad. We thought y'all wasn't with us." You know what I mean? I mean, but let's be real though. Like, we was tired of the goofiness. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I say Trump didn't win. You know, if there would have been, like I said, he wouldn't beat Michelle. You know, I don't think he would beat anybody of any quality. You know what I'm saying? Like, Kamala never had a shot. She didn't have a shot when she tried to run on her own. She just wasn't the right fit. Like, and if there were, like, I think Bush was a radical, and I don't think without Bush, if Bush wouldn't have been so radical, there wouldn't have been a Barack. But Barack was the answer to Bush. Trump was the answer to Barack, and ain't nobody going that radical where they're going. Kamala confuses me. Like, I'm gonna keep it funky. Like, a black, well, she's not black, which I understand, and that's the only way I understand it. But a woman that's an AKA that went to HBCU and ends up marrying a white man does not make sense to me. Like, there's something off in that pattern. It just doesn't make sense.
If you understand it, it do. If you know what's going on, it do.
Right. You know what I'm saying? But it just doesn't, you know, that's just, I don't see how that could happen. You know what I'm saying? When you're around the best and brightest, you know, nobody had enough charisma for you. You know what I'm saying? Nobody had enough, like.
One time though, I mean, she did date black dudes.
But nah, bro. Nah.
That's what most white girls do. They'll let a black man hit and let him take them out. But when they get married, they'll marry a white dude.
Marry a white man. Like, when they know it's time to be serious. But she's not black though, so that's the only way that makes sense.
That's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying though. Again.
And neither is Dwayne, and neither is Jamie.
Right, but again, we got to be honest about what's going on in the Democratic Party. They've become a farm for politicians. Right, these people are built and groomed from the time they hit whatever to start being. I mean, you can look at their family tree and structure and what their parents do for professions and who they associate with, knowing these people are being set and bid up for politics. Right? It's why they were so. I ain't gonna even say because I don't know what I'm telling you. Shout out to Joe Biden. Y'all do not understand how pivotal Joe Biden was in this election, bro. Joe Biden knew exactly what he was doing when he was dropping them sound bites. He knew exactly what he was doing. They forced that man out just like they forced Bernie Sanders out. And would it have been any difference? Me personally, I think Joe Biden would have did just as good as Kamala did.
Would Trump beat Bernie?
Yeah.
Hold on. I want to chime in on this one. I'm gonna jump on this one.
Bernie a little too far, and so
no,
to me.
In 2016. So I look at it as I want to see a good fight. In 2016, you had Hillary Clinton and you had Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders had all the young kids. All the young kids. I started getting active in politics during the whole Occupy Wall Street stuff back in 2012-ish, whenever that was. That's whenever I started getting active. And I realized that them young kids, they want free stuff. That's what Bernie was talking about.
You're right. Bernie would have came out with, he would have hit free college, free medical. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're right.
So going back to that point in time, I saw how the Democratic establishment moves. I saw that they moved Bernie out the way for Hillary Clinton. And Bernie Sanders at the Democratic National Convention had the ability to say, nope, I'm still in this. And that would have thrown the whole thing into a whole little hoop. Kerfuffle would be the word. Because then you would have had a real fight to see where the Democratic Party was going to go. But there was no fight. Because next thing you know, he would have been been found in a hotel room hanging up by Anyways,
He'd have got Epstein.
yeah.
So in 2024 though, Dwayne, would he beat Trump?
Absolutely not.
Yeah,
Absolutely
2016,
not.
I agree with you.
No, in 2024, absolutely not, because the American people got a taste of what a Trump presidency would be like. And back in 2016, they were telling us he's going to go to war, he's going to do all these things. The worst case scenarios.
If it wasn't for the pandemic, Trump would have been reelected.
Absolutely. So that was the only reason why Biden was able to win in 2020 was because of COVID-19 and the fear in which the media put around it. And
everybody was scared, bro.
Most definitely. But then what they did was on the news stations on the right-hand side or the left-hand side, or even at the bottom, they would give you a little running counter of how many people done contracted COVID-19, done been hospitalized, died from it, and all this other stuff. The media was
all sponsored by Pfizer.
Now let me ask y'all, how many of y'all during that time the media was telling you the hospitals were overran and all this, people dying left and right? How many times you saw the ambulance come down your street and pick up some people? Anybody? No. So the whole TV was the one who was sitting there telling us, right? And then guess what? You had in predominantly Democrat cities and Democrat states, that's where COVID hit the worst and hit the people the worst.
New
so
York
they
City,
used
Chicago, Illinois, LA.
They used it. They used it to hurt regular Americans, to say basically it was that I would say it was damn near extortion.
I'd say it was, boy. I don't.
So I'll digress on that one, but no, he wouldn't beat him. Bernie Sanders had a better chance in 2016 than a much better chance, and he probably could have won. He would have. In my opinion, he would have done better than Hillary Clinton.
Really? Did you get in on this?
No, it was so much, man, to touch on before I go to what.
Yeah,
well, let me answer the question.
Oh, you're talking about what?
Let me just answer the question first. What did the data tell you? So the data told you, the data told you that white women voted with their man. The data told you that Hispanic women voted with their man. So with the whole, black men voted with black women, right? When you think about it from the Democrat angle, and I don't know if that's ego, or I don't know if we're giving those men enough credit that they are, intelligent, they're autonomous human beings too, able to think for themselves, and that's just whatever appealed to them, or maybe that was their voting pattern. Because again, I'm gonna say, and this is a liberal number, at least for the past 50 years, at least for the past 50 years, blacks as a collective have voted Democrat, right? Okay. So in that regard, I don't know if it's just them being self-checked and on autopilot, or if they really said happy wife, happy life, right? When most of the conversations we hear about this gender war and black man against black woman and da. So I can't really see them supporting, unless we're saying the 22% that voted Republican, those are the ones. I don't know. I struggle with that one. But again, I think the data also showed some key misses. I think people really, really underestimated the straight, independent thinking male, regardless of ethnicity or color base or theology or any of that. I think they really the Democrats did underestimate that voting bloc. The Republicans understood it. That's why you had a lot of what's the old boy name, like the gamers, the Aiden Rosses, a lot of the young cats that are really into that Andrew Tate, that Fresh and Fit and all that other stuff, and even Livingston Allen, all them talking Trump. I think he went down to Mar-a-Lago and did an interview with Trump Jr., if I'm not mistaken. Academics went
did
down
Joe
there, right?
Rogan, and he did PBD. He did the dude that the dude with the stupid idiots.
Yeah, so that was a huge demographic that was overlooked, but this is the demographic that's been in the news for the last couple of years. This is the whole manosphere, red pill, incels, all it. So y'all ain't got nothing to say to them. So it's all about, Jamie, to your point. I did want to say this to your point, right? To your question, because you really do seem distraught. One thing I think you should take into consideration to balance you out when you're trying to consider the behaviors of our people. There's a culture amongst us that uses medical procedures as contraceptive. It's ingrained in the music. It's ingrained in the everyday conversation. It's ingrained in the movies, the TV shows. It's the we did that. Give me $5 for the procedure. Let me get 500 or a slight, 200. This has been going on since the 70s, 80s, right? And I don't know the number. I haven't done it. One of y'all can correct me, but they estimate that. Well, let me say this because I know this part is true. We've been 13% of the population for a very long time.
22 million.
Okay, there it is. 22 million. 22 million of our population canceled. So we could have sexual liberation and freedom to do whatever it is that we want to do with whoever it is that we want to do it with full autonomy and no shame, no accountability, no nothing. I'll just go and have the procedure done in the morning. Or you can go get me that. You can go down there to CVS or Walgreens and get me that pill. Yeah,
that B.
Yeah. So it's ingrained in the culture. So you're trying to appeal to the moral sense, like, hey, no, don't you understand? No, that's a different conversation for a different group of people. You understand what I'm saying? And
what percentage? What percentage?
Oh man. Say? Oh, the moral conversation.
No, I'm asking you for the. You say that's a
that moral conversation. Yeah, that moral conversation within our demographic. This is a generous number, Slick Rick. Less than 15%. That's it. Listen, I'm boots on the ground. You know, I'm in here amongst the people. You know what I'm saying? Doing some of the work. You think it's less than that, Slick Rick? Don't do me that way, man.
Was morality
having the morality conversation that
it is lower than that, my guy.
I said it's a generous number, man. Let me live in mine, man. Let me live in mine.
Number, you feel me?
Let me live in mine.
I got you, bro. I got you, bro. Right? I hear what you're saying. That's what they'll say in the conversation, right? But when the situation hit, it's different. You see what I'm saying? Like everybody say what they will do, right? But I'm just saying, I'm being honest, right? When the situation not optimal for most women, they gonna opt for the latter. That's just the facts. That's just it. And I count the Plan B pill as the same thing, right? I count that in the equation, right? So just think, for you to take a Plan B pill to be in effect, that means you didn't have no type of protection.
Oh yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So we got to be honest about these conversations. Like 10%? For real, 10%? Maybe. 20. How many African Americans is in this country right now?
Somebody can look it up.
44 million.
How many?
44 million.
Okay. 22 million. Half the
population,
bro.
I know. I know.
Come on, like I said, we need to stop lying to ourselves about what's really popping out here. We be lying to ourselves, bro.
Yeah, black people are not really moral like that. Like I've had many arguments thus far as it relates to this situation, and and I hate that I'm even part of the number that was in the 22 million, and that's why I speak so much against it. I was on the board for women's clinics, and I've been a part of this space for a minute, and then talking to people that say that they're Christians and how they're trying to justify the act of deleting the baby is asinine to me at this stage in the game with so much information that's out there right now, right? And so I hear, I mean, you think about people think that Jamal Bryant is somebody to listen to, right? They think somebody like Beyonce is somebody to listen to, or to just be like, you know what, Kamala is a you know, I'm not gonna even go look at her backstory. I'm not gonna even look at her policies. I mean, she was in the Senate. Most people don't even know that she wrote like 70 bills, but only one got passed. Most people don't even know to go even look at the, and I continue to state this, the what is it called? The Born Alive Act. Are y'all familiar with that? The Born Alive Act. The Born Alive Act is to protect the baby that survived a procedure, and to protect them, they would have the same rights as a person that is alive. She voted against that bill when she was in the Senate, right? And how do I know? Because I went to go read the bill, and then I went to go see who was all the people that were against it, and it was every Democrat that was against it. Even Cory, was his name Cory Booker, something like that? He was even on there as well, because he was running it. I was looking this up in 2020. No, sorry, not 2023 or something. And so to see how evil they are, that they're not even willing to have the baby, once it survives, to even have the right to live. Somebody said to me, they was like, well, maybe there's something else in the bill, and that's why they. And I'm like, what else would need to be in the bill for you to be like, oh, okay, cool. Well, the baby's going to be alive, so we're going to save it, and it has the same rights as anybody else. Well, here's the person that was running for president that was against that. And they think it's not as big. Most people, when I tell them that, there's like, they don't have the bandwidth to get past the identity that she's black, that they think that she's black, or that she's a woman, right? So that lets you know that they have usurped morality, because to fit what makes them feel good. There is no conviction in that. In real, I have talked to several people that have said that they're Christians, but always give a justification as to why they do it. So the data told me that I don't know if there's much of a gender war as so that it has been proclaimed to be, seeing as though the gap is only 14%, right? You know, as it relates to black men and black women voting in the same vein for the Democrats, right? It's like you all can come together over there, but y'all can't come together to in harmony as it relates to relationships, right? So that showed me something. The other thing that showed me was that there were literally 66 million people that still voted for her. She only lost, as it relates to popularity vote, she only lost by a percentage, right? So that, and then that connects to say how divided we are as a United States. However, if you go inside the numbers, you'll see that the majority of people, or I won't say majority of the people, but the people that that voted for Trump were really trying to do what y'all saying, trying to get back to grassroots and be like, like, we need some morality down here. We need something to calm the waters. Like, you all about to get out of this world crazy.
Right.
And not only that, they hit the Senate. You know what I'm saying? They were like, listen, we don't want none of what y'all got, Democrats. We trying to get everything we can. We trying to get rid of y'all like that, right? So the numbers showed me that even though we're divided, I would say there are more people on my thought process as it relates to entirety as a morality. But at the same time, with my black people, I see that their morale compass is very, very low. And that's unfortunate, because that's a matter of the heart when we talk about that. Did anybody have something to add before we get?
Oh, that was perfect. Thank you.
That's a bet. Listen, I got one more. It was this video. You know what I'm saying? Prototype ain't gonna like it. So that's why I'm gonna play it. All right. You ready? Here we go.
I don't know if y'all heard, but Kamala Harris is $20 million in debt. She raised $1 billion in her campaign, yet she still finds herself with $20 million in debt. Donald Trump is offering to help pay down that debt because his campaign had money left over. That's what he is intending to do. Now, I do have a few other options that might be helpful for Kamala during this difficult time. Option 1, we can send her $750. Option 2, we can collect all the money possible to help and then send it to Ukraine. And my last option would just be, hear her out, see what she has to say about how this could have possibly happened, the mismanage of all this money, and then just tell her how we grew up in a middle-class family and we really liked the lawns of all of our neighbors. That might be helpful. And an honorable mention could just possibly ask Oprah Winfrey or Taylor Swift to pay for it. What do you guys think she might prefer?
That young lady's out of pocket.
I want to know what Prototype got to say.
How dare she?
When I saw it, I was like, I gotta put this on. Prototype, did you like that one?
I'm not a Kamala fan, bro.
I know that, but you told me listen. For those that don't know, Prototype wanted me to have an unbiased situation, and I said I ain't going for it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be unbiased. You know what I'm saying?
Which telling you, crazy to me.
Everyone is biased, bro. Don't believe in that lie. Everyone is biased, bro.
Listen,
everybody. Listen,
I am biased because I literally have read the documentations of her voting ways. You feel me? And what she stood for. The person, like, to be object, to let y'all know that when who was it in 2020 when Tulsi Gabbard was on the ballot, she made me think about like voting Democratic because of how she handled business.
Tulsi sharp. She's sharp.
You feel me? And she moved to the Republican Party. She was independent and then moved. So that lets you know that the Democrats is bugging so much so that big time people are leaving.
I don't understand how you can trust. You can't trust either side. Like they both evil.
Right. With that, listen to what I'm saying, Proto. I need y'all to listen to this. Everybody knows politics is bullshit. Is that fair? Is that fair, people? Can we admit that as adults? Right.
So why not ride for a side?
Hold on. It's okay. Right. So with that being said, it's two chicken wings on the same chicken, right? This chicken suck, this chicken wing suck, this chicken wing suck. That's what we're saying, right? Facts. So with
I would say that before Trump went in. I wouldn't say that as a
no. Let's give it to him. Let's give it to him. Right. Let's give it to him. Right. They both ain't shit. They both bullshitters. They all liars. So why would you vote for either one? Because of their belief systems. The truth is, let's be honest, right? Everything Trump say he gonna do, he not gonna be able to do. That's politics. That's politics, right? But with that being said, this is crazy to me why people do this. When it's not election time, everybody saying, fuck the government, fuck the IRS, fuck the Fed, fuck them. All they do is take my money. That's all they do. Oh, man, you got a Fed case, man. You going to jail, man. The Fed don't take a case unless they know. Everybody know the government about getting in your pocket. Republican and Democrat alike. So why is it when it comes time for the election, everybody wants to play like they don't understand this point? They're all liars. That's how they got the job. They all did some dirt. Otherwise, they wouldn't be where they're at, right? So what makes you vote for one party or the other? Why do y'all sit up there? Not y'all in general, because it's never none of us. We're all perfect, right? Why is it when these people, and they tell you, I don't vote for either one. Well, don't say shit, because if you don't vote, you ain't got nothing to say. When the whole game is bullshit then. Right? I'll be telling y'all, we don't be listening to our own miles. We don't even listen to what we say. Right? So if that's the case, why do we consider to give these people votes of confidence? What would it look like if you turned on election night and they said, you know what, God damn it, nobody voted? right? The reason why, like I said earlier, the reason why the only thing you have to go on is the belief system that this person that you believed in their past that they followed and that they present to you at the time that they're running. What's the belief systems? What's the belief systems of the right? What's the belief systems of the
track,
left?
bro. So I mean, either what's the point, or should we not vote?
I didn't vote. I told y'all before I don't vote because I don't vote for the lessers of two evils. I don't deal with any evils, my guy.
So why ride? You seem hella Republican.
No, the reason why because
Dwayne, shut up, man.
The reason why is because as broke, I'm broke. Hey, Rilla, I'm broke, baby. You understand what I'm saying? As broke as I am, as ghetto as I am, as rash, I understand business. I sold business services for 15 years. I understand overhead. I understand ROI. I understand bankruptcy. I understand money. And you cannot get more money pulling out of a pot with people that don't put in it. That's what America's doing right now. Y'all don't get it. Y'all don't get it. These people coming in, they open up the dreamers. That's what they call them. The dreamers. The dreamers that all these people deserve a path to American citizenship. And then Biden just bust the doors wide open. These people are pulling from a pot. Really, in Chicago? These people are pulling from a pot that they never put in. They never put in. So when y'all, the debt clock, that's the debt clock, people. Thousands upon thousands that turn into millions of dollars in cities like New York that's overrun. The mayor's telling y'all, we ain't got no more room, baby. Don't nobody understand bankruptcy better than Trump. And whether y'all want to admit it or not, whether y'all believe it or not, just like y'all believe she black, the United States is bankrupt. We have got to get foreign entities out of our pockets. We have to make it inviting for companies to come back to this country so your kids can have a job. The small business is dead. They made sure of that with COVID-19. How many mom and pops you know? But I'm just talking. We all got to eat, baby. That's what y'all got to understand. We all got to eat. And now I'd rather be able to go out there and get it myself than have somebody tell me, here you go, this is what you gonna eat. So y'all take it the way you want it. I never know what I'm talking about, though.
You always know what you're talking about. You're wise. You feel me? Common sense makes sense, right? You know, and so that's me too. Like I understand the economy. You know, that's one of the things that was a big deal to me. I also understand that the dollar is not anything as well, right? It's a matter of what we make it. And then if they produce more money without there being a trade, so to speak, or something to back it, then the money goes down. So when she was talking about, I'm going to give you all money, like who's going to pay for that? She's not going to pay for that out of, and I told y'all last week, she's not going to pay. She's going to make us pay for it after she give it to us. I told you about the unrealized gain. Like that's crazy. That's mean.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I just went on a whole rant about how F the vote. I'm not voting XYZ, and you're not gonna say no pushback on that, Mr. Vote. You got to vote. You wasted a vote. Why didn't you vote?
No, I think that, listen, that's his opinion. I think that you should vote, right? And I told you the other week, 2 weeks ago, I said I understood why you said that you didn't necessarily care to vote. I said I understood that, right? But I believe that everybody should vote because there were people that died for us to vote. And I used to think exactly how Uncle Rick think. Like I didn't even come to this point. Dwayne was with me for the past 3 years or whatever, and I was not rocking with neither one of these people. And so I was like, man, if I'm gonna vote, I got to be very, very informed. And so I started digging. And then I said, you know what? The way we even got to where we are in America was through a vote. Right? But he's also telling you, like, listen, this is what the side of the coin is. Like Rick is cool with living off grid, but still telling you what makes sense. Right? So I am able to understand somebody's perspective. Like if somebody tell me, like if you Prototype told me why you focus on the local election, Rilla tell me he got the Bloods and the Crips, I can see his perspective and still disagree because I can say, listen, I don't think what I've seen is that I have not seen Trump be able to be bought by none of these people. And that's why they went so hard on him. And I don't see him as a Republican. I see him as a businessman trying to show the world what he can do because of who he is. So he has a ego that big to say that I can change all of this, right? That's what I see. I don't see him being connected in that way. And if he is, I just haven't seen the information, right? And I'm willing to change my purview, right? And so that's what I'm saying that people should vote for. Vote for the value in the economy, but also the state of mind for morality to be back here. You know what I'm saying? To some degree anyway, right? So, but I can understand the perspective of Jamie saying, you know, like my late wife was like more of an anarchist. You know what I'm saying? That's who she was. But she was still a Trump supporter because of Trump, not because of any Republican or anything like that. She probably would have rolled with Jamie. Kendra's the same way. Kendra's like, man, bruh, she ain't even like Trump, but then she started like listening to him. So I'm under the guise of being able to listen to people and how what they say that they line up with. So if a person say they line up with being a Christian, I go hard on them to say, like, why in the world would you vote for a Democrat who literally does not stand for anything that you rock with? Like, if you're talking about the government giving money, like that wasn't what Jesus did. Like, if you talk about the talents he gave, he showed the situation where, listen, I'm giving you talents, and what do you do with it? He did say that the poor will always be with you, but he's not saying that. He's saying that as a matter of truth, not a matter of where he wants you to be. That's the difference in which when somebody is trying to communicate their thoughts, that I'm able to say, okay, I see it because of what what you said previously, and you've held true to that. But if you're gonna give me I'm a Christian and but I think that aborting babies is cool. Nah, fam. I'm gonna go at your throat. Right? And so this has been dope. Really. You want something to say? You know, you're a guest, you got something to say before we get out of here. You can get the last words, homie.
Yeah, you know, you said something about Proto, which I actually agree with, man. If I had to say any last word, man, focus on hyper local, hyper focus on the local elections. You know, salute to the pageantry of the federal elections and the presidency and stuff like that. But what people don't also realize is here in Chicago, I had to vote for judges. I had to vote for retention of judges. You know, and here in Chicago, you get to vote when we have the mayoral race. So in addition to voting for the mayor, you get to vote for the alderman. The alderman is responsible for your streets and certain things getting done, the sanitation and so on and so forth, right? We also get to vote for like sheriff, right? But then also understand if you one of those people that's big on who polices your community. Well, your mayor appoints the chief of police, right? So while you could tell me, not you or anybody on this panel, I'm saying why people could tell me the ins and outs of whether Kamala is black or not, whether Trump is a crook or not, or whether he like to grab people by the pee, man, tell me about your mayor. Tell me about the person that represents you at the council level, the city council level. Tell me about your congressperson, your senators. Like those things are way more important because those are the offices that you could actually walk into and have a say. Slick Rick is 1000% right in terms of what's going on here in Chicago. I saw the gentleman, I think his name was Oscar, talked about voting, being Chicago and Latino and voting for Trump. Man, the city is $1 billion in debt. $1 billion. $1 billion, G, with a B, right? And so you saw them have all this money and resources for people who didn't pay taxes here and so on and so forth. And now that the city is $1 billion in debt, the one thing that the mayor said he wouldn't do as a campaign promise, guess what he's having to raise taxes on? Property. He's having to raise property taxes. Campaign though not doing it, right? So it's very important. That stuff concerns me because that impacts people like my grandmother. You know what I'm saying? The house that we have has been in that part of the city for 50 years. We're keeping that house in the family, right? So this is why it's important to be hyper focused on local elections. Know what's going on at all levels. One more thing with that, what Slick Rick is saying is 1000% correct. But here's the other thing, right? And this is why I say Democrat or Republican, right? Because it removes me from being attached to either one in a way where I'm looking at their values. No. That's a tool. Okay. When I go to use a flathead, I'm not using it for the purposes of that I would use a Phillips screwdriver for. You understand what I'm saying? These politicians are tools. And they can all be bought. They can all be bought. They all, including Trump, all of them can be bought. It depends on the price, and them being bought is not a bad thing. Them being bought is not a bad thing. Again, I say with some people, we continue. Well, let me say this: with Black people, we continue to show up to chess matches with Connect Four pieces. These politicians are tools, and you better learn how to play the game correctly. You shouldn't feel one way or other. Could that tool get the job done? I'm not questioning how the hammer feels or does a hammer align with my value system and all that. Can the hammer get the job done? Right. And once we start thinking like that, we can move in a favorable direction and increase that conversation, that moral conversation, which I'll say from 10%, you know what I'm saying? Maybe we can stack another 5, another 10 on top of that and finally get somewhere. I'm on mute.
Hey, Rilla,
go ahead.
Rilla, what platform are you using to teach how to use the tools?
I'm in the streets.
Telling us to use the tools is one thing, but how are you teaching us how to use the tools? Because you said we better, right? So how are you teaching us to use the tools? You're
asking me to teach. Wait. I just want to clarify.
Yeah. I'm asking you, right? Because you said you better learn how to use these tools, right? So how are you teaching us how to use the tools?
Prototype. Can I ask a clarifying question?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you asking me to teach you how to use your politician?
I'll say yes.
Okay. So your politician would be specific to your need in your community, right? So I think the first thing you should do is research who represents you, right? So I know who represents me in the 9th Ward. I know who the watch command is in Precinct 5, right? I know who my senator is. I know who my congresswoman is. I know who my mayor is. I know who my governor is, right? So you should know all of these things. You should know where their offices are. You should have their email at the ready, right? So now the things that impact you outside of the stuff like, Humble Dad could tell you the high level stuff about presidency and stuff like that. And I'm saying simple stuff. When a light is out in your neighborhood, who do you go to? Who do you need to speak to get that light changed? If your streets are not paved, if there's cracks, who do you go to address those grievances? Right? So you said
the alderman earlier, right?
Well, everybody doesn't have an alderman, so that's
I think
what works.
You said that earlier, but I'm just saying, don't just tell people use the tools, right? Because people don't know that the tools even exist.
Well, so prototype. And Shout out
I'm
to
not
you for
saying
that.
me. but I'm saying
I
for
know.
me,
So
as
this
the
is what I'm
C-student, as the
expecting.
dummy.
But honestly, and I'm keep it a being with you, bro. I'm 50 years old, right?
Mm-hmm.
I expect everybody under the sound of my voice that's over 21 to be able to either hear what I said and go do what HD normally does. If you hear some, I don't understand it, I don't know it, I go research it for myself. We have a supercomputer in our hands. If I have to hand walk you through it via internet, there, you know, is what it is. But here,
72%, no dad, 72, right? So,
but here in Chicago, I'm working with organizations where I get to do that hands-on. So for those people, if I gotta hand, you know, hold their hands and walk them through it, that's a little bit different. My time, I try and regulate and use it as best I can. So, you know,
no,
if
you
you
was on
can
the
share,
right track.
like,
I just want you to keep going. You was on the right path before you went in that monologue right there. I just want you to keep going. So when HD clip it up, he gonna clip. Go look up this person. Go look up that person, and then email them and call them and show up at their office to get these things changed, right? Because that's what he needs to clip up. So whoever hears the clip knows what to do moving forward, right? And that's how they use the tool.
Proto, well, let me ask you. Wait, so is there anything else I left out though?
I don't know. Keep going. You was on the path. Keep going, bro.
No,
Keep going, bro.
I ain't trying to give them Thanksgiving dinner.
Why not? Why not? We need it. We need it. So why not?
Can I just interrupt?
Because it's not us on the panel. It's not us on the panel, right?
Yeah.
It's everybody else.
Yeah.
We're not talking for us.
Let
We're
Ash
not
go.
preaching to the choir.
But Chicago, y'all can follow Chicago Rilla on this channel. You know what I'm saying? For sure. He just gave us pretty much a blueprint. Go ahead, Ash. What you got?
Chicago, really, I don't understand. You said we all got these supercomputers, but I'm telling you like this: as a city bus driver, baby, this is just like that. That means nothing, because they can have this all day and still not know where they're going. It may be a building that I see that I don't see within my path, within my route that they need to go to, that they got to walk 50, 75 feet, and they still not know it. So I understand where Prototype is getting it, because sometimes you do have to walk them. Like I could be driving and I would have to tell somebody, hey, go to your maps, click the little space for the search, click on the icon that says bus, not the car. Don't click on the bike, don't click on the train, click on the one that's rectangle. Like I have to visually try to visualize what they doing while they sitting there, and then also try to make sure they get to the right place. So sometimes they may have the supercomputer, but the computer only goes to Facebook and Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, YouTube. It don't go nowhere else.
And that's a goddamn shame, man.
Facts.
Hey, that's what I be cussing in my mind. I always have gum
Those
on
be
me
the people that
24/7.
probably vote too. So.
You know what I'm saying? And we got Wi-Fi on the bus, so it's no excuse for you to be late. There's
Right. What you just
not
say?
to know.
What you just say? What you just say?
It's no excuse.
Is no excuse.
But baby, guess what?
You
They
know
can
what?
be back there. Oh, miss, that's my stop.
Do your job. Do
I didn't
your
know
job.
that.
No,
Like,
listen to
how
what I'm
much?
saying. Listen to what I'm saying, sis. Do your job, not everybody else's. That's what's wrong with you niggas.
Oh, I do, baby. Where
Right.
your phone at? Your
Not
phone
you, and I'm not talking to you specifically, sis. I'm not trying to target
They don't
nobody.
like me. I'm
Right.
telling you, I got people that come around.
What I'm saying is this, right? Study and show thyself approved. How about that? No other man is responsible for your ascension but you. So if a man doesn't have the common sense to interpret a gem that's been dropped, then it's just gonna be a diamond on the floor, ain't it?
Get on my bus and say that in the morning. I need you to get on my. I got a microphone. I just need you to say it.
This in a microcosm is what's wrong with black people. This is why they vote primarily Democratic, because you want to have your hand held. Life doesn't work that way. It never will. I'm sorry. My bad. My bad. But it never will. Right? Again, these are the lies we tell ourselves. Your father was supposed to pass those lessons down to you, my boy. Now it's my fault that you don't have a father. Listen to the thinking. I was supposed to take care of you, and the reward is supposed to be for me just to be happy that you learned something. Ain't that what they got educators for? Go spend your $27K. at these woke colleges. You were supposed to be a man. You were supposed to be a woman. If you cannot lead yourself, what's the point of you being on this earth? What? Because you ain't following God. So someone please tell me where's the disconnect? Where's the disconnect? Again, my shit is circular because it's true. Where's the disconnect? Family, right? Yeah. Your daddy ain't there to teach you. He not educated. Your mama at work all the time. Your daddy's a single dad. Your mom was there. You never learned how to nurture and understand. Take your pick, but it all starts with people not being a family. Which side is trying to destroy the family with their messaging? Which side is promoting family with their messaging?
That's solid. That's solid. I appreciate you. All right. Dwayne said he had something he wanted to say. I think he's like looking at the back.
Yeah, my bad. I wanted to jump in here and chime in on that. I think from a hope standpoint, I think we're heading in the right direction with Trump being elected. Somebody made mention earlier about Biden being a gift. Oh, he absolutely was. I think Biden was necessary for America to actually wake up to what politicians have been doing. We've been ran by career politicians for decades. And finally, we have somebody coming on the scene running it like a businessman and showing us how it can be done. Fun fact, Trump won the popular vote this time. In 2016, a majority of the people, the news pundits, were talking about how he lost the popular vote but won the Electoral College. We talked about this today. Play with the cards that are being dealt to you. So if there's a system that you have to win using the Electoral College, that's exactly what Trump ran on and won on in 2016. Then fast forward to 2024, he not only won the Electoral College by a landslide, he also won the popular vote. So contrary to the popular belief of what the media and the TV is telling you, even your phones, that supercomputer can lie to you, just like the TV can lie to you. Contrary to that, he won. So to your point, Uncle Rick, whenever you made mention about the morals, that's the first president in the United States history to attend the March for Life. In the 40-something or 50 years now that has been in inception. I look at this man and he's about family, country, and again, popular culture belief about God. So on that, I believe we're in a very good spot compared to where we could have been.
Hey, this has been phenomenal. This has been one of the most diverse panels that I say that has been put together because of all the different perspectives, all angled to have a productive conversation, but also to get people to think beyond what they have seen in their face as it relates to media and music and entertainment. And so this has been a phenomenal conversation. Make sure you reach out to Dwayne Jones at Dwayne Jones Photography, Prototype. He has his show tomorrow. I'll be over there at 8 o'clock Central Time. And then you got Chicago Rilla on YouTube, in them streets, always breaking it down. And he also in the actual streets, making sure that people are well educated and doing their thug fizzle. Then you got It's Me, Jamie. She smiled every now and then, but since she hit that 92% number in her face, she had a little different thought process going.
You ain't gonna be able to unsee it now, though, Jamie. That's the bad part. You ain't gonna be able to unsee it now.
Hey, but check her out. She on all platforms giving people Christian advice from the biblical perspective. And Uncle Rick, you still doing your thing?
Not really, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Okay, but we can see you in the streets. Hey, we can still go get the playbacks though, for sure.
Oh, for sure.
So I appreciate you for stopping by, bro. You know what it is. And then Ash, Miss Bus Driver doing her thug fizzle. Make sure you go check her out on Instagram and Facebook and all that jazz. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe to the channel. And you know what it is. We out here. Until next time, deuces.
dangerous.
Bad feeling about this.
You don't seem to understand something.
The thing that I like most about being a dad is that I see them about to impact the world.